Today we are looking at the port of Halifax, Nova Scotia. I will take you on our excursion, which included Peggy's Cove, Lunenburg, and Mahone Bay. And we will look all around the port area itself, give you some hints of what you might do when you're in port, and what I will do differently when I get to go back again. Today we're in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Let's see what the balcony view is. We are docked here at Pier 21, right at the cruise terminal, and if I look over the top of the building, it looks like the city of Halifax is just right there. The view of Halifax from the starboard side looks incredibly different than from the port side. As we exit the ship, we can go straight outside. Turning left would take you through the port shopping area and security for reboarding. Turning right will take you to the entrance of the Canadian Museum of Immigration. And just before the main exit is an information booth and booths for the Grey Line tours, including hop-on, hop-off tours. When we exited the terminal, I spotted a mailbox across the street, which will be perfect for sending a postcard home after our tour today. And this view is of the cruise terminal from the outside. If you were traveling with children, I might suggest that you walk about 10 minutes this direction to the Discovery Center to spend the day. Or if the weather is nice and they need to burn off a little energy, the Peace and Friendship Park offers some green space and a large playground. If you are in need of finding a market, there is one just down the block from the park. And if you plan to rent a car for the day, the Alamo, National, and Enterprise are here at the Halifax train station on Hollis Street. We booked a full-day tour with tours by locals. Our guide was Garry Jollymore, and he was excellent. We shared the tour with another couple to split the cost. We stopped to stretch our legs in Mahone Bay. This is Mahone Bay. View of the 3 churches. You'll see 5 churches back there. I think they named it before 2 of those churches were built, according to our guide. The scenery was just stunning as we drove from here. We've stopped at the Blue Nose Golf Course, and we have a beautiful view of the town of Lunenburg. We left the golf course and drove through Lunenburg to the harbor. Now we're in the town of Lunenburg, and I'll show you a little bit around. There's a large sign with a town map, so I took a picture of it and set off to walk and explore the streets. I resisted the pastry and coffee shop, but was excited to find a post office to get some international postage stamps. The clerk was very helpful. So I purchased a stamp for a card I had already bought in an earlier port, and another one for a card I would hope to find later during our tour. I dropped my card in the postbox right outside the post office. Lunenburg is delightful. We drove by this church building earlier. It is the St. John's Anglican Church of Canada, and it was open for visitors to tour for a donation. Look at all that wood. I bet the music is incredible. And just a block away is St. Andrew's Presbyterian. Very similar architecture. There's a public park at the top of the hill, and several residents were walking their dogs and enjoying the sunny day. I just love the architecture of these homes and businesses. Each one is so unique, and it just seems like such a peaceful place to live and work, or just to come for an extended stay. It is my goal to get a lobster roll somewhere today, but probably will not be at the Subway. Okay, we've explored the city streets. Now it's time to explore the harbor. There are multiple businesses and restaurants that face the harbor. This is called the Fisherman's Tribute. There's a place for booking harbor tours and whale watching trips down this dock. And when I walk down the dock, I can get a view of the golf course where we were getting the scenic photos of the town earlier, and I could spend some time enjoying the harbor activity. Looks like a Halloween tree made out of lobster cages. What do you bet they take down those pumpkins and make this a Christmas tree in a couple of months? The Fisheries Museum of the Atlantic is located right here in Lunenburg. I spent too much time exploring the town earlier to have time to tour this museum, but many of the schooners and trawlers which are included in the tour are located right here in the harbor. After our time in Lunenburg, our guide brought us to a lobster pound. I learned so much about the lobster industry from Mr. Jollymore and from the owner of this pound.
It takes about 7 years to get this size. It has to be 2 3/4 inches from the eyelet to the end of the main body. And for it to grow, it actually starts to produce a new shell under this one. That's when you get the terminology of soft shell lobster. And when they're ready, this shell splits apart and the lobster wiggles and squirms out. And it just feels like a very, very fine leather. And they'll blow that up, and then over a period of 3 to 4 months, it hardens, and they go from a 1 pound to a 1.25 pounds, which are very scarce right at the moment. We don't have any. To
Wow.
1 3/4. Yeah, that's a 2-pounder.
Wow.
Wow.
And there's 1 3/4 there. And this is a 2.5 to 3 pounder.
Wow.
So these are the 5 sizes that we have available today for our customers. Yeah, they're all starting to wave goodbye. So this one's 7 years old. This one would be in its middle 20s.
Then he showed us Roger. Roger is not for sale. He lives the life of luxury and gets his favorite food, oysters on the half shell. A lobster fisherman has lobster licenses for a specific area and a specific time frame. The fishermen bring their catch to the lobster pound where they're required to purchase all the catch. They sort the lobsters and are the wholesaler to local businesses and restaurants, and they ship from here as well. I'm at Peggy's Cove, and the lighthouse is back here behind me. We'll take a little closer look in just a moment. Be sure to wear comfortable walking shoes. It is possible to stay along the sidewalks, but if you want to climb around the rocks, it's definitely uneven ground. Our guide recommended Tom's Lobster Shack. They offer smoked salmon and smoked brisket, but we're here for the lobster, and they offer their lobster rolls 4 ways. I want mine naked. Pretty much just lobster with garlic butter and lettuce on a toasted bun. Most of the time lobster rolls are served cold, but this was warm and delicious and served with homemade chips and pickle. It was a great day to visit Mahone Bay, Lunenburg, and Peggy's Cove. I think next time when I come back to Halifax, I would like to visit some of the museums, maybe walk around downtown Halifax some, perhaps go to the Citadel. Lots of things to do here at this port. I also missed seeing the statue of Mr. Cunard, who has a whole cruise line named after him. In case you're wondering, I did get my postcard in the mail. I have a tradition of buying a postcard everywhere that we travel if I can, and then I mail it from that location, and most of the time it arrives. Now, since I am late posting this trip to Halifax on my YouTube channel, it's already near Christmas time, and I'm proud to say that that ornament and postcard are hanging from my Christmas tree. This is Shirley with Shirley's Journeys, and I hope all of your journeys are pleasant ones.